Well, we're in the business to help people.
Yeah.
We want it
That's
to
right.
be win, 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 so that everybody wins.
John Fedro here. Thank you so much for watching here, sitting with Bill and Dixie, active mobile home investors from the northwest part of the country. Thank you so much for
Hi.
being here with us
Thanks
today.
for having us.
Yeah. Hi. How's it
Of
going?
course. Remind me of that the picture of the farmer and his wife standing in front of the
I just put
Well, I don't have my hoe here, my fork, my pitchfork.
Do me a little bit of a favor, sort of a quick Reader's Digest version of who you are, because you have quite a not a checkered past in real estate, but a very active past in real estate. You've been doing this and have a wealth of information. So please, how long have you been mobile home investing and then real estate investing in general?
So mobile home investing, just 2 years. Real estate since 1999 for me. Started out doing a few rehabs and a couple apartment buildings, 7-unit and 4-unit, not big. And then never wanted to do mobile homes. Never. No way. If it came in on wheels, it's a trailer,
Yeah, remember that first seminar we went to? Little
yeah.
boxes that spit out cash.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Russ
Whitney.
Whitney.
Okay. When
so
was
we
was
went
that
to
in the 90s?
In 2003.
Okay.
And then so I left my job and went full time, and then they ended up hiring me as a mentor, traveling around teaching people how to set up their real estate business. So, I mean, I went to all, I don't know, 20, 25 states. I don't even remember them all, and did deals in several states. So it was kind of cool. So then specialized in short sales in 05, 06, 07. Pre-foreclosures, rehab, lease option. I mean, all kinds of mix. About 160 stick-built deals total.
Fantastic.
And then stopped in 2009 because the market probably kind of went crazy. So we did other things for a couple of years. And then in 2012, tried to get back into traditional real estate, went to auctions, all kinds of stuff, couldn't get any traction. And mobile homes because it's a low cost of entry, and if you mess up, it's a couple $1,000s lost instead of a $200,000 or $300,000 stick-built deal. So we bought one on a Saturday for $4,000 and sold it a week later for 10, and went,
wow.
I think this might work.
And only thing we did was dust the
we
TV.
Didn't clean
That's
it.
it.
Didn't do
We
the
dusted
carpet.
the top of
Yeah,
the television.
that
It was
it.
furnished.
It came with
furnished.
it was furnished.
Yeah.
Did you sell that one all cash or with
No,
payments?
Nope.
$2,500 down and
She's still paying on
$250
it.
a month.
She's still paying.
Just got another check the
Another
other day.
check.
Ended up doing 17 in 17 weeks.
Yes, fantastic.
So surprised. It
Yeah.
just was so easy and fast. And then we moved to Washington, which we wanted to do, and took a break. Actually, for 10 months, took a break, and then started up last June, and we've done 13. We're just finishing our 13th ones in a year.
Yeah.
So that makes 30. This is our 30th deal we just finished, and
Beautiful.
we close on it today or tomorrow. They're closing on their house to cash this out, and it's awesome deal.
Then we get a check.
Yeah, we get a big check.
Cash.
Fantastic.
We like cash.
So it's awesome.
I love cash.
We
too,
like
yeah.
cash.
Sold for cash. Yeah.
That all that effort, for folks listening, not just we did 17 here and 13 here. I mean, that does not come without being well known, being active daily. You hustle more than much younger folks that seemingly want the same sort of results. So it just blows me away that we can be dropped off. I love this business. We can be dropped off in almost any state and be able to do this. So after we got started together, then you were investing in some mobile homes prior to that, and then we got started together. When you
we
were
did. We did a couple. We did a couple of them, and I wanted to learn more about it, and so got your program, and it just added to what we were doing. And for new people, If you go through the program, the modules are awesome, the videos are awesome, the steps to go through, if you just follow that, and then the follow-up at the end of the modules on things to do next, that's awesome.
Let's talk about your average deal now and what that looks like.
What we've been doing lately, like when we first started, we didn't touch them. We just got them and sold them, got them and sold them. What we've done now is we're fixing them up some, or a lot in some cases,
Yeah.
And that pushes the price a little. Like we bought 5 last June. In 1 month, we bought 5, and I didn't pay more than $2,800 for any of them.
Right.
But and again, this isn't for everybody, because you want to get in cheap and that kind of thing. But cash is king, and so if you can pay cash, you can get some really good deals. And so typically now we'll paint at least the inside, sometimes the outside. We've put new windows. We just put 3 windows in the one we did. Now that was a county code requirement.
Code requirement.
So we don't do that all the time, but we had to do it this time, and it pushed the price. I mean, we got the thing for $5,000, and we're selling it for 28 cash. Now we put a bunch of money into it, so our net is about 7,000 on this one. So we've got 22,000, 23,000 in it, 22,000, whatever it is, 21,000. I'm sorry, 21,000 in it. So again, it's not for everybody, but we're at a place now where we can do that, and so there's. In our area right now, the one I looked at yesterday was $99. It was a dump. I mean, a dump. It needed a rebuild. I mean, like gut it totally. I mean, walls included. The floors were rippled. I mean, it was a mess. Under $30,000 right now, there is not much in our area. So that causes us to go out of the area some.
Yeah.
We just have to work harder. The thing that we know, because we've been through it a couple of cycles, is it's cyclical.
Yep.
So last May, we were looking around, and I called you last May because I couldn't find anything under 30 grand, if you remember. And I was a little frustrated because we were just rolling when we were in Idaho before we moved here. And you said go 30 minutes one way, north, south, east, or west, and we went
That's
north.
what we did.
We went north 20 minutes, and bam, bought 4 in one park.
Wow.
And then one in another park closer to our house. But and then we just started rolling. We just started doing them, boom, 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 boom. Because once you get out there and kind of break the ice, it just starts going.
It's called momentum.
Yeah. But yeah. So
which do you prefer? Do you prefer to sell as is, or do you prefer to sell fixed up?
I like to sell as is because you're not putting any more money into it, and it's quicker. You fix it, it's going to take longer, it takes more money. And when you fix stuff, unfortunately, part of the game is you find other stuff that you didn't expect. That's why on this one we're making 7,000 net. The last one we just did was 11,500 net because we didn't do as much work. It was in better shape initially. So anyway, it's a trade-off.
Well, one of the other things is that what we're finding, at least in 3 or 4 of the last deals, is there are people that are selling their homes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about seniors for a minute. Seniors are selling their homes. They're cashing out money. The one that just bought ours from Texas, cashing out, and they're buying it cash, and then they're looking at how much a month do I have to spend to live.
Yeah.
And maybe I want to travel, or maybe I want to go visit the grandkids, or maybe I want to stay closer to the grandkids. And so what we're finding now is that some seniors are actually selling their homes and they're moving into mobile home parks because it's a safe place for them to live. It's cheaper. They're in a community with other people with like interests or age groups or whatever. And it's amazing. I mean, we never thought that would happen. I didn't, anyway.
No, the lady right across from the one we're just closing on this week, she has a Lexus.
Yeah.
She had a big, huge house. Sold
Big, huge home.
Got very little maintenance. She can travel. People watch her place when she's gone, and her taxes alone on a stick-built house, your taxes alone are 4, 5, 6 grand a year on a lot. If you have a nice house, I mean, you can live in a mobile home park, pay the rent and all the utilities for 4 grand a year. I mean,
Exactly.
there's no, it's crazy. So anyway,
Anyway,
that's just
we could go on.
our deal.
Are some of your buyers, or at least in the senior communities, let's talk about that. A lot of your senior buyers they might have never lived in a mobile home before.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
The last couple we sold to.
Yep. The one we're closing on this week, they're
This week.
closing on their house, getting a check so they can pay us. And the one we sold last. Like Dixie said, they moved from Texas, sold their house there, moved up here, didn't have a place. They rented a hotel while they were looking around. Found ours, qualified in a couple of days, and boom, moved.
Full price.
Had their stuff in a moving
Full
van.
price.
Yeah, full
no
price.
discount. Bill said, we have it priced to sell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the guy said, so if you have it listed for 25 and then I offer you 22 and then you say 24, we'll come somewhere around 22.5 or 23. I said, well, actually, we have this price to sell.
Done.
So 25, boom,
25.
no discount. So, and that's part of the deal. Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
And we
you
said
have
it
to plant those
nicely. It
seeds.
wasn't like,
Yeah.
it was nicely.
You mentioned you bought 4 mobile homes in one community. Now,
Yeah.
does that ever... The home will speak for itself. Usually the area does as well. The variable, as you know, is the park manager. And you don't know how easily you're going to resell the home. There could be, the park manager could be really mean or rude or racist, and then take it out on you, take it out on your home, take it out on any potential tenant buyers coming in there. So does buying 4 in a park without testing it, that's a little scary to me. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'll never do it again. It was, I mean, at 3 in the morning, I was literally laying awake going, how in the heck am I going to get out of this mess? Because exactly what you said
Just
happened.
what you said. Yeah.
The park owner, she had a manager and she was the owner. She was there every day. They had gone traveling and turned it over to a management company, came back, and the management company was allowing drug dealing going on, marijuana growing in the area, and it wasn't legal.
Wasn't legal.
It is
then.
now in Washington, but it wasn't at the time. And so the property manager was taking the background check money, put it in their pocket and saying, okay, move in. And so they had it was a mix of folks. Some were awesome and some not so much. So she came back, freaked out, kicked out the management company, hired a new manager, and she's on site managing every day. And half a day on Saturday. And so good news is the place is in better shape than it was. The bad news is she's very, very strict on allowing people to move into the park. So what I did is initially she seemed real good on the surface. I sat down, had a meeting with her, asked her what she was doing. She was rehabbing 5 homes in the park herself. So I told her that's what I did. And so she said, okay, great. And it'd be great to work with you. I had to qualify just like a regular resident. She told me to do 2 and give it a shot. But then she referred some other people to me, and the deals were so good, I did them. Then I had 4, and it was, so a couple of instances. A Mexican couple from Mexico came. They had legitimate paperwork everywhere else, but it wasn't satisfactory to her. A girl that was 19 years old had a $100,000 inheritance, was going to buy a house for $20,000 cash, had $80,000 left. She'd only been on her job 6 months. The the owner made it very clear she would prefer it to be a senior park, so she wouldn't qualify the girl, even though her credit score was over 700, had no criminal record, never been evicted. She hadn't been on her job long enough, so she didn't qualify her. 3 different realtors told me they absolutely won't work in that park anymore because it's too hard to get people qualified. I mean, I sent at least 3 and I think 4 people to her to get qualified, and she sold them other units that she had for sale rather than the ones I sent them to get qualified on. She sold them into other houses that she had. So it was bad. And finally I told her, and I had talked to you about this, previously, I told her I'm just not cut out for this business. I'm going to have to, bite the bullet and pull one of these out of here. And it's just, this business isn't for me. And she said, when she already had about 7 empty spots,
Right.
and said, well, what can we do to not have you move? I said, I got to get somebody qualified because I'm paying rent every month. So boom, the next week, she qualified a gal, and her brother was helping the lady who got qualified was helping her move, and said, this is a pretty nice park. I'm going to put an application in and find one to buy. And I said, I've got one 2 blocks over, because it was a 189 unit park, big park. And I had 2 at the same time. So a brother and a sister bought 2 together. So she qualified and he qualified, and then we were out of there. So, word to the wise: do one, evaluate, and then go stunning. So yeah, know who you're working with. Anyway,
and that
but we're out of there now.
Listening, that's not the norm. Most
never seen that before. Never seen that before.
We were shocked.
If you had a magic eraser or magic wand that you could go back and change one thing in your, well, let's say the mobile home investing side of your business, what would that be or look like?
I don't know, because where we are today is all the things that happened up
It's all
to
good,
now.
man. I mean, it's
So if we undid something, it might mess everything else up.
That-
You got to count your lessons
I
and your
think
blessings.
maybe there's one thing. Maybe we would start in this business sooner.
Oh, that definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at it as a real business.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some friends. We have a friend in New Mexico who owns 5 parks.
Yeah.
And he was trying several times to get us involved, and it was just like we just weren't open enough. I think just be more open to this business.
Yeah,
I guess maybe that's what I would think.
Yeah.
Start sooner.
I wish I'd have done it sooner. Yeah, I had a lot of, because I advertised when I was doing short sales and stuff. I had people calling me with mobile homes. I was like, I don't do those.
I think we'll probably not do it.
And looking back, it's like, ugh. Darn.
That's okay. That's a change.
Maybe we could add a park by now.
That's right. Yeah, never know. But anyway,
Yeah, you never know.
I wouldn't like eliminate any of the things, because they were all very valuable lessons, although some were more costly than others.
But life's about learning, right?
Yeah.
Let's just go back, to the basics. What's rule 101 of real estate investing, would you say?
There's always another deal.
Good one.
Keep the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
Yes, rule number 1 is there's always another car, there's always another house, there's always another deal. There's not always another good-looking young man, but there's always another deal.
Yeah,
it's just baby, don't put all your eggs in this one, because there's always another one. There's always another one out there.
Part of so a thing I always recommend to people is read on sales, because this is sales.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a people business. It's sales. How to Win Friends and Influence People is an awesome book.
Love it.
Tom Hopkins.
The Art of Selling.
The Art of Selling. Incredible book. That one book, I think I've learned more than. I mean, I've enjoyed a lot of books, but that one is awesome.
Really good.
Excellent.
And you have to be able to walk away. Yeah. That's the thing. You have to take emotion out of it. You can't be, and we were talking about that
we were the other day. Yeah.
You can't be emotional. If you got to have that house and you got to have this deal, you're not going to get a good deal. So you have to take emotion out of it to where you're drooling to get that deal, but you have to, on the surface, look like you couldn't care less. Case in point about that same park, one of the 4 that I bought in that park last June, the guy had a for sale sign, for sale by owner, $5,000. We had not started again yet at that point. So I told him that I couldn't do 5 right now, but I'd do 3 and then payments on the rest.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I need 7. And I said, well, the sign on your house says 5. And he said, well, I just put 2 vinyl windows in. And I said, well, then you need to change your sign. So you can't go up. You know what I mean? So then I said, well, you call me if you change your mind. Well, like a month later, he called and said, "Okay, you can have it for 5 now." Well, we bought 3 in
Three
that park and
others.
another park,
We already
and I
had.
said, "I can't take any
Sorry.
more now." He said, "Well, I got to sell it. Rent's due next week. You know, how much will you give me?" And I said, I don't know. I mean, let me talk to my wife to get off the phone." I called the park owner and I said, "Is he behind in his rent?" Well, yeah, he was. So he owed a month's rent plus water, so it was like 5 something
Yeah.
change. So I said, "The best I can do is I can pay your rent to get it off your hands. I don't need it,
Yeah.
you know." And so he said, "Well, can you give me 1,000?" And we ended up at 750, and $186 or so went to
Went to
him. The
him.
rest was to the park. So he got less than $200 because he wanted 7 when I was offering him 5. And so, but again, we walked away. She told me not to buy it. I shouldn't have bought it because it was too many on the plate at once. But you know, it ended up I wholesaled it out to
Yeah.
another
No, it
rehabber,
ended up
made
being
a couple
okay.
grand.
Well, we're in the business to help people.
Yeah,
You know, we want it
that's
to
right.
be win, 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 so that everybody wins.
Thank you so much for being here and coming on and talking about your business and trying to
Thanks.
help people. So really, thank you very much for this.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for your
asking.
help, John.
Thanks.
Always.
Appreciate it.